him constantly being like, I mean, I came up with the idea, but I didn't make it. I'm not a scientist. I didn't prescribe it to
Yeah.
people. I didn't tell them to take the drug. I didn't force people to become addicted to it. Like, if you know how to manage it, then
Yeah.
you know how to manage it. And he even like marries a woman who takes so much of it every day
Yeah.
to the point where like it's strange. And it's strange how she's able to walk and operate like a human being taking that many pills. Like when I
Yeah.
saw how many she swallowed, I was like, if I take more than
Oh,
one pill, I will literally just like
yeah.
for to take a handful of them, like their
Oh,
skills, and just down the hatch, I can't do
just
it.
down. Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't do
No.
it. Like I don't know. Also, Ruth Codd, great actress, phenomenal. I wanted to watch the Midnight Club just because she was in it, but then I was like, I can't do dying kids. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But
No.
she's really great at the show.
She's really good in Midnight Club as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. In case you do watch Midnight Club, I don't want to spoil it for you too much.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there is technically only one child death in the show, if that makes sense. They're all in this hospital and they're all terminally ill, so you know that they will die, but only one of them actually dies in the show.
Hmm. Okay.
And the main thing of the story is the stories that they tell each other every night. And I think one of the reasons that I didn't like it is that it's not got the same vibe as most of his shows. It's still a horror, but it's like it's not the same kind of vibe as a Mike Flanagan show. And but it was still good. I'd definitely watch it
Mm-hmm.
because it can be difficult because you know, like, okay, these are teenagers and they're dying, and you know that that's what's happening with them. But it's also quite beautiful to see how they like overcome this fear of what's happening to them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some beautiful moments in it as well. Like it tackles a lot to do, like we said, the themes that he has in his other shows, like grief and loneliness and the like inevitable, well, like what's going to happen and how do you deal with that. So I definitely recommend watching it. It's not one of my favorite, but definitely check it out. But she is fantastic in that show. She's one of the best parts of it.
Yeah, I may check out the Midnight Club, because watching the Fall That's of Usher did make me miss some of Flanagan's works. So maybe I'll actually like finally watch one of his movies. And
Yeah.
I was surprised when he announced the Midnight Club and that being released, but I'm not that surprised that it was released because ever since Stranger Things has come out, Netflix has been trying to make a lot more movies and TV shows like Stranger Things, like
Hmm.
Night. Nope, not that. Fear Street, the movie trilogy that they release, 1994, 1986, and 1666. That
Yeah.
kind of gives off like a Stranger Things vibe, especially because like two actresses from the Stranger Things series, they are also in the trilogy, the movie trilogy, and
Right.
it is interesting that like this show, which is a Mike Flanagan show, Mike Flanagan has been all the shows are generally like positively reviewed and well watched, and usually like one of the top viewed shows on Netflix's streaming platform that they will happily boast. You know what I mean? That usually happens with Mike Flanagan shows. And Midnight Club also having a younger cast appeals to
Yeah.
Gen Z and, trying to draw them in to watch the show as well. But for it to be canceled was such a strange thing that kind of came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. And it's not on Mike Flanagan because he's a phenomenal director. And of course, it's different from like Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor, but so is Midnight Mass. And I feel like Midnight Mass is kind of like an
Yeah.
underrated masterpiece, but Midnight Mass still did well. And Midnight Club
Yeah.
kind of like has all the workings to do well. And it's strange because like it seems like Netflix has been changing the way they do or changing the way they handle original series in
Yeah.
a way where a lot of times like I've seen this in like the movies they've been making, they will pay for a big star to be in the film so that people will click the movie. If you enjoy watching these highlights, subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you know when a new video is uploaded. And watch it, but then it proceeds to be the most uneventful, boring, cookie cutter movie they've seen. And they
Yeah.
ride heavily on genre films and horror in particular to draw people in to watch these things and like drive up their numbers and everything like that. But whenever it doesn't like exceed expectations, then they're like, okay, well, you know what? Screw that. It doesn't get another season. It's not getting another movie. You know, it's not
Hmm.
being greenlit. And I think they just focus
Yeah.
too much on everything being like a massive hit rather than letting things kind of build over time and get better and better. Because I think one good example of this is The Bear on FX, because that show is very good. And I feel like it's kind of
Hmm.
underrated in its first season, but it got a lot of positive reviews from critics. And then the second season came out, and it even more people watched it because so many people raved about the first season. When the second season came out, it gives people something to binge, and that gets people more interested in the show. And it got a lot more press, a lot more buzz, and a lot more people were into the show after the second season came out. And if you're expecting
Yeah.
like a number one hit from every single show you release on your platform that has so
Yeah.
much stuff on there
It's too
every
much.
time is unrealistic and it's ridiculous. And they're more than happy to just like cancel something if you know because they don't want to spend money producing another season of a well done TV show. They want to do another season of Love Is Blind or The Ultimatum or Too Hot to Handle or any of their other absolutely awful, terrible dating shows that I wish did not continue on. Like the Lachey's, I don't know what I did to you in a past life, but you need to leave me alone, all right? The torture has got to stop.
No, oh God. No, I don't, I can't remember who I was talking with about this recently, but we were saying about how Netflix just has so much on there. Like, I agree with you. They need to start investing more in the stuff that like people enjoy rather than getting out these like oh, these shows that I never watch or like
Mm-hmm.
um all like renewing things that okay, yeah, they've got a big following, but do we necessarily need to have like a fifth or sixth or seventh season of like what was of all these shows? I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm not very big with like watching series because
Mm.
I always worry. Game of Thrones ruined this for me, I think, because I invested so much time in Game of Thrones and then it ended the way that it did.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated it. So now I'm afraid to invest a lot of time in a TV show and in the end just be disappointed. I think that's what it is for me.
I feel
So,
like not even with like Game of Thrones because like the whole situation with that show is a whole conversation in of itself. But for
yeah.
me, um, for this year and also last year, there have been a lot of my favorite shows that have unfortunately ended, and a lot of
Mhm.
times either they end kind of like abruptly, or they gone on for a while and then they end. But because it's a final season, you know, a lot of times when shows end, they want to still introduce new characters, new concepts, or try something else. And it's kind of like, can we just stick to the same formula that's been working for the past couple seasons, please? Like,
Yeah.
the most recent example for me is Sex Education, because I finished watching that show and I love Sex Education. Sex Education is one of Netflix's best TV shows they have ever created. It is truly a masterpiece, one of a kind. I could only hope that every single kid who watched 13 Reasons Why watches Sex Education because that's actually the show for that audience. Because I feel like
Yeah.
it fits them very well and like will help them out with any kind of struggles that they have with growing up and things like that. But the final season came out and there were parts of it that I liked, but overall, like from the very jump, I was like, oh no, please
Oh.
no. And there's one thing that they did with one of the main characters at the end that truly pissed me off. And I was kind of like,
Okay.
actually, you know what? Y'all play too much. Y'all think, no. In fact, no. Because I want to go back to the writer's room and figure out when y'all make this decision. That way I could be there and tell you absolutely not. I don't think so. And just let you know 100 reasons why this is not what you should do and how you should end this character story. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? But Yeah. Let's get back to
Oh, yeah, let's stop back mouthing Netflix for now. It's
yes.
easy enough to do, but let's.
Yes. Every episode. Since you're at the end of the video, don't forget to like the video and leave a comment down below. If you want early access to these highlights, join our Patreon. Patrons have access to our entire archive, including full-length videos. Patrons also have the opportunity to choose a topic for our podcast, and they get the opportunity to be a guest. Join now.